Hello guys. This is Real Recaps. In this video, I will talk about a 2023 science fiction horror film, Infinity Pool. Before we start, I hope you will like and subscribe to the channel. The film opens with a conversation between a couple, James and Em Foster, who just wake up in a hotel room. They are on vacation in the fictional seaside country of Litolka, staying at an exclusive resort. The scene moves to a nearby gathering of locals preparing for an event called the Summoning. Various people are seen wearing creepy-looking masks as part of the tradition. James and Em are having breakfast. It is revealed that James is a writer and visits Litolka for inspiration. Em wants to spend time in town, but James have no interest to go there, so Emmy goes alone. After breakfast, James watches a local making a scene with quad bike and is approached by a young woman named Gabby Bauer. She tells James she is a fan of his book, where he wrote years ago. Soon, her husband, Albin, joins in. She invites him to have dinner with them. That night, the Fosters join the Bauers for dinner. Albin is a retired architect and now runs a journal, while Gabby is an actress that works in commercials, specialized in failing naturally, where she demonstrates by failing to cut a bin. When asked about his next book, James says he lacks inspiration, and it is revealed that Em's family is wealthy, which is why they could afford the lifestyle. The couples go to a club, where James and Gabby exchange looks while dancing. The following day, the Fosters are invited by the Bauers to go out at countryside, despite strict rules for guests not to leave the resort. Em feels restless, since Litolka has a high crime rate, targeting foreigners. They rent a car from local and spend the afternoon by the beach side. When Albin asks why Em marries James, she mentions how her father runs a publishing company and told her not to marry a writer, but she didn't care because she hates her father. James finds a spot to pee and is approached by Gabby, who massages his private part, leading to a happy ending. As night falls, the drunken couples start making their way back to the resort, with James driving the car. As the car having problem with headlights, James ends up hitting a man crossing the street and kills him. Everyone panics, and James tries to call the police, but Gabby insists to not do it, as the country is corrupt, and they will not be safe. They make their way back, with Albin driving. The next day, officers arrive at James's door to take him into custody for the hit and run. The Fosters are taken to the police station, where they are being interrogated separately. James is confined in a room where he meets Detective Thresh. He informs James while the car that was driven was rented to them by Thresh's uncle, but for his sake, he makes him lie during the interrogation and claims that the Bauers stole the car, which they had already admitted to doing so. According to Thresh, in cases of crimes like hit and runs, the firstborn son of the family will execute the perpetrator in order to preserve the family's honor. However, Thresh gives James the option to clone himself so that his double will take the fall for his crime, in exchange of money, as this is a policy in Litolka for rich visitors. A confused James agrees to go through with it. After withdrawing the money, James is stripped down before being taken into a chamber and coating his body in red liquid. He experiences bizarre visions before waking up on a bed with Em beside him. Once the process is complete, James and Em get a look at James's double, and being informed they have to witness the execution. They sit and watch the victim's eldest son stab the double to death. Em is terrified, especially since the double begs for his life, while James is seen smirking. Thresh then gives the ash of the double to the couple. After what she witnessed, Em is desperate to leave the resort, but James fails to find his passport, leading them to stay. He tells Em to leave without him, and she obliges. James goes to the front desk to extend his stay, and is met by Gabby, who explains things to him. Apparently, Albin is the consultant on the construction in Litolka's resorts. During the installation of Infinity Pool, 2 workers are killed, and the blame was put on Bauers, and they are sentenced to death. Their discovery of cloning was what has kept them alive. Gabby then brings James to meet with Albin and other wealthy tourists, who also have had doubles made for their crimes. The group then tell James that they are planning to break into the owner's resort and steal a recently rewarded medals. They convince him to join them. The group then heads out while wearing creepy masks from earlier scene to partake in hedonistic acts. They break into the owner's home while they are having intercourse and they tie them up. Another guest who is hiding comes firing a gun at them, with Albin getting shot in the leg, prompting Gabby to start shooting back, killing him. They all end up being arrested and being forced into the execution room. Although James tries to fight back, the whole group end up being slaughtered. The camera then shows the group clapping and cheering, watching their doubles being executed, like it's a show. James returns to his hotel room to find Em still there, disgusted at his decision to stay at the resort. He coldly tells her to run back to her father. James is then seen sitting alone before Gabby approaches him. After talking, they start kissing and go to her room, where they take some traditional root drugs and ends up having an orgy with the whole group. The group plan to kidnap Thresh this time. In the evening, they go into the facility, while James waiting outside. They bring a man who has a bag over his head into the resort. James starts beating the man and even piss on him. When Gabby unmasks the man, James realizes that the man is one of his own doubles, which starts to unsettle him. He runs back to his room and takes his passport in the bathroom. It turns out he is hiding it all this time. The next morning, James hops on a bus to get himself out of there. Unfortunately, the group pursue the bus and Gabby starts shooting at it, knowing that James is inside. She forces him to come out by threatening to shoot everyone in the bus. They make him walk in front of their car while Gabby mocking him. Gabby then reveals that she never actually read his book and taunts him with one of the many negative reviews that the book received. When Gabby drops her beer bottle, James tries to attack her before running away into the forest. Gabby then shoots at James, eventually hitting him in the leg. He wanders as far as he can before ends up collapsing near a farm and is taken in by the farmers to recover. He experiences terrifying hallucinations, such as the eldest son of the hit-and-run victim coming to choke him, as well as visions of Em joining the group to torture him. James wakes up and goes outside, only for the group to find him, where they force him to complete his transformation by having him kills his own double. One of them gives him a knife, but he throws it away, as he refuses to do so. However, his doubles start attacking him like a wild animal, leading James to reluctantly beats him to death. As he breaks down, Gabby holds James close and starts breastfeeding him. The following day, James calls Em to apologize for his behavior and says he is going home. He boards a bus with the rest of the group to head to the airport. James is noticeably shaken from the recent events, while others talk casually about upcoming errands. As he waits at the airport, James changes his mind and returns to the resort just as the rainy season begins. He sits by the pool in the pouring rain, completely broken from the experience. The end. Thanks for watching.